Hello everyone. So today we are going to see the protection against lightning. So in the last class we have seen about the lightning, how this lightning is going to be happens, what are the different types of lightning strokes, and how the clouds are going to be formed, how the thunders are going to be formed, and how this lightning affects transmission lines and power system. What are the harmful effects of this lightning we have seen in the last class. Now we are going to see the protection against those lightning. So here if you see the learning objectives of this lecture, the first one is to understand the protection against lightning. So in that protection against lightning we are having different methods, that is to understand about the overhead ground wires and to understand the ground rods and counterpoise and to understand the lightning arresters. What is actually the lightning arrestor and how it is going to be provides a protection against this over voltages we will see. So first if we see protection against lightning, so in that protection against lightning we are having 4 different methods to provide the protection against this power system. So here the first one is overhead ground wires. So these overhead ground wires will provide protection against overhead transmission lines. So next one is ground rods. So these ground rods are going to be provides protection for the transmission lines, and counterpoise also provides protection against this transmission lines only. And the fourth one is lightning arresters or surge diverters. These lightning arresters or surge diverters are going to be provides protection against traveling waves which are produced due to lightning. So here due to the traveling waves, what are the traveling waves which are produced due to the lightning? So these lightning arresters will provide protection against this protection against lightning. So here if we see the overhead ground wire first, so here we can see the overhead ground wire. The most effective method of providing the protection of transmission line against direct lightning strokes is by the use of overhead ground wires. So in this overhead ground wires, that means we are going to use a ground wire which is made up of with galvanized steel, overhead ground wire which is made up of with galvanized steel, or it may be nowadays it may be designed or may be manufactured with the help of ACSR conductors, aluminium conductor steel reinforced. ACSR conductors we are going to use with minimum or zero resistance, with low resistance, a very low resistance we are going to use for this ground wire, because it needs to conduct the large amount of the voltages or currents because of the produced by the lightning. So that ground wires are going to be placed on the top of the transmission tower. The topmost wire in the transmission system, if you see in the transmission towers, you are going to have the topmost wire. The topmost wire is a ground wire, that is overhead ground wire. So that if there is any lightning is going to be falls on the transmission line, then first that lightning is going to be received by the ground wire, and then that ground wire is going to be send the lightning voltages or currents through transmission tower to the earth. There is a earthing resistance is there. That earthing resistor is nothing but the tower footing resistor. Here we are calling that as a tower footing resistor over here. So here R1 and R2. R1 is a tower footing resistor at the left side, and R2 is a tower footing resistor at the right side, that is right side pole. So here we are having the tower footing resistor, that is R1. Let us take that R1, and we are having the tower voltage. That voltage is when the tower footing resistor carries the current of lightning, that is I1 is the current which is produced due to the lightning. So when that is going to be transferred to the ground, then there is a voltage is going to be present. That voltage is tower voltage, let us take Vt. So that Vt is equal to I1 into R1. So you should have the minimum resistance or low resistance path in order to send that traveling, in order to send that over voltages which are produced due to the lightning to the earth. So here that R1 must be designed with low resistance. So here the R1 which we are using here, that R1 must be very less value. So here we are carrying a current of I1, that is the lightning current. So let us take that lightning current as a 50 kiloamps, and then R1 is a 50 ohms, let us take. Then 50 into 50, how much it is? 2500. So 2500 of volts, that is kilovolts, 2500 kilovolts of voltage is going to be present because of that lightning. That is very higher amount of the voltage. Okay. As if we reduce the resistance, we are not having current value of the lightning in our hands, but we can reduce the tower footing resistance. That resistor value can be reduced if that is in our hands. So we can reduce that resistor value. So if we reduce that resistor value to the 10 ohms, from 50 ohms to 10 ohms, then what happens? That voltage, so that Vt is equal to I1 into R1. I1 is 50 kilo ohms, let us take. So 50 into R1 is nothing but what? So that is 10. So 50 into 10, that is 5000. That means voltage is going to be increases, but the resistor is going to be reduced, means that whatever the current path is there, that current path will be very low resistance path, so that it is going to be send the voltages or currents due to the lightning is going to be sent to the ground very rapidly with low resistance. So that is overhead ground wires. So if you see the overhead ground wires in the general transmission lines, so that is the first one represents a single circuit line. So that single circuit line is having the 3 conductors, that is here one conductor, another second conductor, third conductor. Those 3 are the power conductors. We are going to place those power conductors, but the ground wire is going to be placed on the top of the tower. So that is here we are going to place the ground wire. So in the same way for the double circuit. So here if you see the double circuit line, so these 3 conductors are power conductors we are going to use, and the topmost one, the last one we are having here is, that is ground wire for the first circuit. For the second circuit, the same thing other side, that is the topmost wire in the second circuit, that is also we are having the ground wire. So right, so that is double circuit line, here it is single circuit line. Next we are having the ground rods. So these ground rods are nothing but the rods which are going to use below the transmission towers. So we are going to place a ground rods. So these are put into the ground surrounding the tower structure. So if we use the larger length of ground rods, the larger length of ground rods will provide some, what happens here, if we use the larger length of the, let us take 1000 meters of ground rods. If that 1000 meters of ground rod if we use, then what happens here, as the length increases, the resistance is going to be increases. But if we use smaller rods, that means R is equal to rho L by A. As the length increases, the resistance is increases. But here the ground rods must be have less resistance. These ground rods are used to reduce the tower footing resistance here. So here that ground rods must have less resistance, that means which will provide the low resistance path. So here if we use larger lengths of ground rods, then what happens, they are not going to provide the low resistance, they are going to provide the high resistance, because as the L value, that is R is equal to rho L by A, as the length increases, what happens, resistance is going to be increases. But if we use small rods around that transmission structure or tower structure, around that if we use small rods, then the small length will provide the low resistance, so that it is going to be provides the low resistance path, such that the lightning is going to be directly sent to the ground with the help of ground rods. So this graph will explain the same thing, as the length, rod length, and here you are having the resistance. So with respect to resistance, if you draw the graph, as the length increases, the resistance is going to be higher value, and you are going to have the characteristics for 1.25 centimeters, for 1.9 centimeters, and 2.54 centimeters. So for that, how the resistance is going to be, right? So that is the characteristics of the ground rods. Next, if we see counterpoise. What is actually the counterpoise? A counterpoise is nothing but it is a galvanized steel wire which is run in parallel or radial or combination of both with respect to the overhead line. So by comparing that overhead line, you are going to have the counterpoise. That counterpoise is a line which is going to be run in parallel or in the radial or combination of both below the transmission tower. It is going to be installed below the transmission tower. So the corners of the squares indicates the location of the tower legs. So here in this figure, the corners, whatever the corners are there, that boxes, the here squares, the square boxes are there, right? So those are represents the square, indicates the location of the tower legs. So here we are carrying the parallel continuous line, the single parallel continuous line along with the actual conductors of the tower. And the lightning stroke is, as it is incident on the tower, it discharges the lightning through the ground and through the tower, and then through the counterpoise. So it is going to be reaches through the ground. That means first it is going to be reaches the tower, then it is going to be reaches the counterpoise, after that it is going to be reaches the ground. That means this counterpoise is used to provide the low resistance, so that it is directly send the lightning to the ground. So it is the surge impedance of the counterpoise which is important initially. So and once the surge is travelled over the counterpoise, it is the leakage resistance of the counterpoise that is effective. So here the leakage resistance must be very less. So if the leakage resistance is very less, then the counterpoise is going to be works very effectively. So at the first starting stage, the surge impedance should be very high, because for normal currents it should not send to the ground. But whenever you are having the lightning currents, that lightning currents are in the range of 10 kiloamps to 90 kiloamps, so that lightning currents must be sent to the ground. Then what happens, once the surge is travelled over the counterpoise, then it is the leakage resistance which is going to be works effective. That means the leakage resistance must be very less, so that the counterpoise is going to be works effectively. That means it will directly send the currents effectively to the ground. That is counterpoise. So these are the different structures of counterpoise: the double, parallel, continuous, and radial structure, and radial and continuous. So these are the arrangement of different counterpoises. Okay. Next, if you see the lightning arrestor or surge diverter, it is a very important topic, that lightning arrestor or surge diverter. So when the lightning is going to be falls on the transmission lines, that lightning is having the two types of lightning strokes are there. First one is direct stroke, another one is indirect stroke. That whatever till now we have studied, that ground rods, overhead lines, that is overhead ground wires, and counterpoise. So these three will provide the protection against direct lightning strokes only. Then you are having the another type of lightning stroke, that is indirect lightning stroke. What is actually the indirect lightning stroke means? It is indirectly falls on the transmission line and which will produce the travelling waves in the transmission line, and these travelling waves may reach the equipment which are connected to the transmission line, a subjective equipment which are connected to the transmission line. So against these travelling waves, the remaining whatever we have till now studied the protection against lightning schemes, those three will not provide the protection against these travelling waves. But here there is a lightning arrestor. So this lightning arrestor is used to provide the protection against these travelling waves. That is, this provides a protection against indirect strokes. So the lightning arrestor means it is a lightning arrestor or a surge diverter is a protective device which conducts the high voltage surges on the power system to the ground. So here if you see the structure of this, so here you are having the lightning arrestor, so which contains mainly three parts. The first one is the power circuit or conductor, and next is spark gap, and the last one is non-linear resistor. The combination of spark gap and non-linear resistor will considered as a lightning arrestor. So here the spark gap is there. So that spark gap is, there is a gap between the spark and gap. That gap is nothing but what? So that gap is going to be provides a high resistance path when the normal current is flows through the circuit. So in the power circuit, if you are having the normal current, then this spark gap is provides a high resistance path and it is not going to be conducts. But whenever you are having lightning surge, then if the lightning surge falls on the power circuit or the line conductors, then there is an insulation between that, or there is a dielectric medium between the spark gap. So that dielectric medium is going to be destroyed, and the dielectric medium is going to be flashover, or insulation is going to be flashover between the spark gap, and then which will provide a low resistance path. So that is the working of spark gap. And if you see the non-linear resistor, the non-linear resistor will provide low resistance path to the surge currents, and which will provide a high resistance path for the normal power or normal power circuit, that is normal power currents which are flowing through the line. So if you consider the 11 kV voltage, for that 11 kV voltage of currents, so if you consider the current, there is a current for the 11 kV line, so that currents are not going to be sent to the ground, because that nonlinear resistor will provide a high resistance path for the normal power currents, that is 50 Hz currents. So when you are having the surge voltages, so for that surge voltage you are having the higher amount of the frequency, so for that it is going to provide a low resistance path, so that currents, lightning currents are going to be directly sent to the ground. So these are the characteristics of the lightning surge, that is in between voltage and current. If you draw the characteristics, then you are going to get these characteristics of the lightning arrestor. So there are different types of lightning arrestors are there, that is first one is rod gap arrestor, second one is horn gap arrestor, the third one is expulsion type lightning arrestor, and the last one is valve type lightning arrestor. So these are the mainly 4 different types of lightning arrestors are there. So these lightning arrestors we'll see in the next class. So if you see the summary of this lecture, so till now we have studied the most effective method of providing the protection to transmission lines against direct lightning strokes is by use of overhead ground wires. So we have used overhead ground wires, because of that it is a most effective method. So because of this, the lightning stroke directly sent to the ground very rapidly. Okay, and the next one we have seen that surge impedance of the counterpoise, which is important initially, and once the surge is travelled through the counterpoise, it is the leakage resistance which is going to be most effective works. Okay, and the last one is in the lightning arrestor, the nonlinear resistor is that its resistance is going to be decreases as the voltage or current increases. So if you consider there is a lightning, before the lightning you are having the normal voltage, normal currents in the circuit. As the lightning falls on the line, then the currents are going to be increases and the voltage are going to be increases. So the nonlinear resistor will provide some low resistance path as the current or voltage increases, and vice versa it is going to be works. Okay, thank you everyone for listening this class.